Alright guys, so we're starting the day 2 video today, and today is almost going to be the same as yesterday, except we're going to learn how to do these problems in 2 steps. So sometimes, like the situation you can see right in front of me, I'm not going to be able to use just one triangle or the other. I'm going to have to use both of them in order to solve this problem. That's because, basically, what is the mass in grams of 1.220 times 10 to the power 8 atoms of copper? So I can see right here that they've given me my mass. So this is my given, or sorry, this is what I'm looking for. And this right here is what I know. So what I know is over here, and what I'm looking for is over here. They're in different triangles. This basically means that I'm going to have to find a way to get from this triangle to this one. And this is actually a very, very simple thing. When you see in the question that your givens don't coincide with what your unknown is, you're not in the same triangle, all you need to do is use the triangle that contains your given. So this one right here, because this is the one that we know. This is the one that we don't know. So use this triangle right here to find your number of moles. And then when you have your number of moles, you can use this triangle to solve for your unknown. Okay? In each of the triangles, you have one thing that is just automatically given to you. So you see this guy right here? This one is already known. This one is also always known. This is because Avogadro's number does not ever change. It's always going to be 6.022 or 6.02, depending on how you round it, times 10 to the power 23. That does not change. And the molar mass is always going to be something that you can find directly from the periodic table. This number is also not going to change. So you always have a given in each triangle. But, again, if you can't complete the whole triangle based on what you have to find your moles and use the number of moles in your new triangle to find your unknown. So let's just try one example right here. Okay, so right here, what is the mass in grams of 1.20 times 10 to the power of 8 atoms of copper? So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about what I have. And I'm going to start with this triangle. That's because I know more about this triangle. I can solve for my moles here, okay? Because I know the number of particles and I know Avogadro's number, so I can solve for moles. And then I can use this in this triangle to solve for whatever I need. All right, so let's see what's given to us. My givens is number of particles equals to 1.20 times 10 to the power 8 atoms. And Avogadro's number equals 6.022 times 10 to the power 23. And my unknown is my moles, right? So let's find moles. Moles are equal to number of particles divided by Avogadro's number. And you can get that from here. So moles equals to number of particles over Avogadro's number, so we have to divide them. All right? So N is equal to 1.20 times 10 to the power 8 divided by 6.022 times 10 to the power 23. So N is equal to, you can use your calculator here, 1.99 times 10 to the power negative 16 moles. And yes, you guys, whenever we're talking about atoms and the number of atoms, these are usually going to be pretty big numbers, and in this case the number of moles are going to be a pretty small number, so you will be using scientific notation. Okay, Don't just write 1.99, your answer will be wrong. You have to include the scientific notation in it. All right, so now I know my number of moles, but the question was not asking me to find moles. It was asking me to find grams. So now that I know my number of moles, I can use this triangle to find the number of grams of my substance. So let's see what I have now. So my givens. If I wanted to use this triangle, what is useful to me? So what do I know? N is equal to 1.99 times 10 to the power negative 16 moles. And then I can also find my molar mass. This is something that is just given to me, and I can find that in the periodic table. So right here I can see that my molar mass from this block of the periodic table would be 63.55 grams per mole. Okay, it's okay to round to 2 decimal places just to make things simpler. All right, and let's see, what is my unknown? I am looking for my mass. Okay, now I have everything that I need in order to find little m. Okay, so small m is equal to molar mass times number of moles. You could see here the little m is on top, so the mass is equal to m times n. Anytime you see two things next to each other, you're supposed to multiply them. But I'm sure you guys already know that. All right, so 63.55 times 1.99 times 10 to the power negative 16. So if you put that into your calculator, you will get 1.264 times 10 to the power negative 14 grams. And then you can go ahead and put that as your final answer. All right? So remember, when you get a question that gives you something from one triangle, but is looking for something in another triangle, what you need to do is find your number of moles based on whatever they gave you. So let's say they gave me the mass and they asked me to find the number of atoms. Then I would have to start with this triangle because they gave me the mass, and then I have to find number of moles and go and work with this triangle to find the number of particles. So whatever situation they give you, whatever is given to you, like this, tells you which triangle to start with, okay? And then you find the moles and you go to the next triangle. Very, very simple. So now you guys, if you're confused, rewatch the video, and there's going to be lots of practice questions for you guys to try. And of course, if you really are confused, you can message me on Shobi and we'll talk about it during the Nearpod session.